A powerful alien visits Earth with the promise to eradicate war, disease, and all suffering in return. It demands a small child for unimaginable, painful testing. Do you accept the offer or not? Aziz.
Waiting for you to accept.
We'll get back to Aziz. Lafferty.
Hi.
Alright.
The
Sorry for
microphone
that
is
delay
yours,
there.
Aziz. Yours, Aziz.
Oh, sorry for that delay there. I was just trying to fix my my headphones there. I wasn't really paying attention, but but I did hear when the other person used like dog and cats. Dr. Sam used dog and cats for
Aziz, the question is behind you. Here's the question here. Have a read, have a think, and then we'll get back to you as soon as possible. All right, because the thing is, when the topic's over until we reopen the table. So let's go to Damn Skiddledoo, and then we'll get straight back to Aziz.
And the megaphone is yours.
And you have to re-enter Damn Skiddledoo. Sorry, your headset is cutting out. Don't worry, we'll get back to you.
Am I back?
Yes, you're back.
Fantastic. So my answer is wrapped up in a larger philosophical question, which is whether the challenges and problems of mankind, such as war, disease, and suffering, whether you can even define what all suffering is, first of all, but whether those challenges of mankind should be removed for us. I think that would actually take away our own sense of self-authorship and responsibility to develop as a species. And so I don't think it would necessarily be the most responsible thing to receive that much help when it's still probably within our power to overcome those, albeit difficult. Add the child into it, yeah, it makes it a hell of a lot worse. But if you were to leverage a global issue that we were all suffering from, that we did not have the answer to, and we could sacrifice one for the many, I might fall on the other side of the fence and say sacrifice one for the many in that case.
Interesting. It's kind of like the Garden of Eden story. Okay, Aziz, you're going to get the megaphone now. Waiting to consent. Try now.
Okay, hi, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So I would say definitely if they do come and they say they're going to do what they said they're going to do, I'm very sure there will be volunteers. People would definitely volunteer to probably go through those testing. And I think just like the other the other speaker said, sacrificing one person to go through that suffering, or a few people just to save others from having to suffer from cancer or any other deadly disease, I think it's not actually bad. So that's my opinion on that.
Awesome.
Over to you.
Thank you, Aziz. Thank you.
Awesome.
Let's go to JVB. JVB, you'll have the megaphone shortly. All right, I'll give you the okay.
Ready.
How's that? Good?
Yeah.
Thanks. There's something I think really inherently off with the question. And well, first of all, I certainly don't trust it. I wouldn't trust any alien or God that comes promising to eradicate war, disease for human sacrifice, which, happened for centuries and didn't seem to work, no matter how many people sacrificed their virginal people in the village. Apparently it didn't pay off. It didn't end with Abraham, like right at the last second, his God supposedly said, "Just kidding, glad you love me." It's like this: if an alien really is that powerful, then why would they impose suffering, one, in having to consider such a thing, And to the, if it says they're going to wipe out all suffering in return, that's impossible because people are going to miss that child, and that child is going to be suffering. Therefore, it's a fake offer. And again, we're getting to the semantics of what is suffering, but I think we've gone down this road before with human sacrifice. Hasn't worked. I don't think I would believe an alien who came to do that. Now, if there was an adult who was into masochism, I think they'd have a party. They'd be the first one to volunteer. I'm for that. Yeah, that's it.
Interesting.
Thank you.
All right. Oy vey.
Okay. And Ove, would you like to speak or pass? One moment while I give you the megaphone. And the megaphone is yours.
Okay. Oy vey.
I've got it. Yep, got it. Ignoring whether or not you should be prepared to give up a small child for unimaginable pain, I don't have faith in humanity that they wouldn't find a way to overcome the eradication and bring back the war, disease, and suffering. So I think it would be a pointless exercise. So I wouldn't accept the offer for that reason.
Right. All right. Let's go to Chris.
Thank you.
1762. Thank you, Oy vey, and thank you, JVB.
And the megaphone. Just waiting for you to accept, and the megaphone's yours. Ready.
And gone. Okay, let's go to Jose. Jose. Jose, megaphone is yours. Let me know. You want to speak or pass?
Yes.
Yep, I can take it. Yeah.
Great.
Does it work? Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I think there's two scenarios. One is if we believe what the promise, if we believe it will be real, right, and in reality will suppress lots of suffering around the world, then I think we should take it because I think there's a lot of unimaginable pain right now around the world, right? So in a way, it would be getting rid of lots of pain, and someone would still be in pain, and it's very unfortunate, but it would be way better than the current scenario. If we don't have evidence to believe that the offer is true, then I would be with JBD and others. That then we're skeptics whether the reward will take place and become real. And in that case, of course, we should not take it, right? In a real world, I would not take it. But I think it's interesting to think if in reality the rewards would be there, would we be willing to sacrifice someone in exchange for a lot of other people who are suffering to stop suffering? So that's my view.
All right. Nice. Let's move to the next person. Ali. Vidal Tube.
Is that me?
Vidal Tube, yes.
Yes. Vilda, hi. Hi. Yeah, I feel that we're already sacrificing small children for unimaginable painful stuff. For some people to have like more stuff, we sacrifice other people's children. And I also feel that, but I don't like the feeling of that at all. But I also feel like our existence is so much tied to suffering, or like suffering is a part of existence. So I also think if we would take it away, then it would be something that I couldn't even imagine. So I don't know what that would be at all. So I don't know if I would sacrifice it. I don't know. I think we're already doing it. think we're sacrificing each other for something we don't know. I don't
Right.
know if I accept that. Yeah, I kind of accept it.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're now going to go to Santiago Avocado.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just joined. I wanted to be on time, but I was kind of a bit late. What was the question again?
The question is behind you. So it says a powerful alien visits Earth with the promise to eradicate war, disease, and all suffering in return. It demands a small child for unimaginable painful testing. Do you accept the offer or not?
Honestly, I would not accept the offer. At a young age, I would never cause so much pain to someone who's so young, just because when they grow up, they're going to be emotionally scarred. So if that's going to cause pain, I'm not going to accept it. I would actually have the pain go on me instead of someone else. So no, I do not accept.
All right. I mean, that definitely puts a twist on the story as to would someone then say, no, let's not give a child, let me sacrifice myself. That we should definitely say for another moral dilemma. But then, okay, well, I don't want to move too far ahead. Let's go to Lofty. Welcome and hello, Lofty. Good to see you again.
Hello, Lofty. Good to see you again. How you doing, guys? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll probably pass on this one. Fuck that alien, maybe.
Yeah, you can raise
I'm okay.
You can raise your hands at the end because this is the second question of the night. Let's go to JT Coles 88.
Is yours. Just waiting for you to accept, and it's yours.
Same question.
Same question.
Okay. So it's definitely a but you know, I think in this situation, the greater good would be to offer a young child, as unthinkable as that sounds. When you think of all the pain that's perpetuated across the world, it would just be an emotional lift for everybody if we could eradicate war, disease, and all suffering. So as tough as that would be to make that sort of offering, I think I would make that tough call.
Okay, JT, before we cut you off, the next moral dilemma, or like in a couple of weeks' time, because I do like this way of thinking, is that imagine you have to sacrifice your child for the greater good. Does your answer change then?
Well, in that situation, I think my answer probably would change. And I don't know if that makes me hypocritical or not, or insensitive to putting that pain on somebody else.
Right.
But it's it's a complex dilemma. And that would definitely change it for me.
Right. Okay. Let's go to Snezzles. Snezzles, you'll have the megaphone shortly.
It's yours. Be ready.
There is not a chance I would let the aliens do this, unless they would just take the child and then get in their spaceship and fly back off to La La Land. But I doubt that was going to happen. They're probably going to take the child, see how it works, and then they're gonna get rid of. Have you seen War of the Worlds? I think that was the name of the movie, where the aliens began to like attack all the people, but they only got like they all died at the end due to like the disease and stuff that humans had. If they got like rid of all that, then we would be like unprotected or something because they haven't adapted to it, and they just take our resources or something like that.
Right. All right. Let's. So far in today, Ali, at this dilemma, I want to watch that movie that Snezzle said, and I want to watch the Star Trek that Aziz said, because it seems like it's
Star Trek is awesome.
It seems
I
like
second
we
that.
can learn a lot, and we can gain some new ideas for moral dilemmas. I've never seen one episode of Star Trek, so I'm definitely
You've
keen.
missed a lot.
Well, at least
No,
I
yeah.
have something to look forward to. Let's go to Hutch.
Hatch, and the megaphone is yours.
Okay. I don't really have too much to say about it. I think I couldn't condemn a child to that, but I also don't want the Earth condemned to the war and disease and suffering that we already have to deal with. I think if there was how small a child, if there's a child that could, that would be willing to volunteer that, I wouldn't ask them to. But if one were to say, offer themselves up, but it's got to be a choice. Not that a little child can really fully informed make a good choice on that, but I couldn't condemn one to that myself.
Right. Yeah, and I think like
Thank you.
we can learn a lot from movies as well, because whenever you see this type of situation, we always see at least 2 or 3 people willing to do that sacrifice. And it goes to that social dilemma of, or the life question of those who wants to live more or to die. And there are a lot of people on earth right now that are willing to die. They either future fatal, they believe they're doing it for the greater good for after their death. And I think we should also consider like volunteering will most likely. Okay, I'm giving out my answer. All right, Dr. Sam, let's move to you.
Considering it's an adult, not a child. A child, I don't think, would actually volunteer. Dr. Sam, the megaphone is yours.
There's a lot of teenagers that don't want
Thank
to be
you.
alive right now.
Thank you. Look,
Yeah.
obviously this is a highly complex and charged discussion, and I'm just listening to what everybody says. The one point that JVB made was the sacrifices occurred throughout history, even during biblical times. It has occurred, but it has always occurred in the name of a supernatural, invisible deity. We even had the Aztecs burying live babies under buildings. Christianity talks about a sacrifice and the redemption of man, which hasn't occurred. And I think Ove also touched on it. Jose, of course, was quite pragmatic and said, let's take it. Now, if we put it into context, every day that passes, 17,000 children die a day from hunger, starvation, rape, murder, sacrifice. 17,000. 7,000 an hour. By the time I'm finished this discussion, 1,000 babies would have been murdered. So suddenly we're saying one baby to save the entire planet. But I think the point was made very eloquently by Santiago, is that can you trust these aliens? Can you imagine aliens traveling to our planet? They've traveled 1 billion kilometers at the speed of light. How sophisticated are they? They arrive here and they see a human species that is murdering each other, that is destroying their planet. How would they look upon us? They would look upon us as we look upon rats. So would we trust them with one of our own, or is it just some tokenism and they annihilate the whole nation? So we would have to be very careful, and I doubt that we would have the sophistication the intellectual and sophistication to be able to determine what they want from us. And in that case, I would say, no. As much as we lose children, I don't believe that you've come here in good faith. That's my 2 bits. Thank you.
Okay. Wise words. So, Dr. Sam, I think I just missed your point. Would you accept the offer or not? Yes or no?
No, I wouldn't accept the offer.
Okay.
So let me qualify that. If they could prove to us that they were 100% sincere, and the reason they needed to test this baby is because this baby was a secret to a cure on their own planet. And the only way they could cure a disease on their own planet, because they had no other cure, was actually to dissect our DNA in one of our babies. And I was 100% sure. I would say, yes, let's sacrifice the child. We're losing so many children anyway.
Right.
But we would need to be 100% sure. So
but then
yeah.
I would go back to JT Coles and repeat the exact same thing I said, is that if it was your child, would you sacrifice your child?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Okay.
The answer is yes.
All right.
Okay, it's not. I mean, that's a different question, and it shouldn't be raised here. But the answer is yes, because the amount of suffering I would alleviate,
right,
by the lack of selfishness, it's worth losing a child.
Definitely.
And I only have 80 years on this earth, and my child only has 80 years on this earth, but humanity has millions of years.
Sorry,
That's a good point.
We lost you there, Dr. Sam. Did we lose him?
No, no. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I
thought you were going to say I have 5 children, so it's okay.
No, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say that I'm sacrificing one of my children's life for an instantaneous second on this earth, which is 80 years.
Right.
And for that life, I am providing humanity ad infinitum with a disease-free, war-free, crime-free country. I would be very selfish if I didn't do that.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Very good. So Dr. Sam took himself out of his own shoes, and he saw outside the box. Let's go to Foster 46.
And you have the megaphone. I'm just waiting for you to accept.
Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just came here just now. I wasn't exactly sure what the question was, but it's over here, right?
Correct.
The question.
Yes, absolutely.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. I think, for my opinion, I have pretty much the same kind of opinion as Dr. Sam has said just now. I mean, I would go for the same choice as well, if the choice ever comes up to me. I didn't have a child yet. I'm not married yet, but if that choice ever comes up to me, then it will be a very difficult choice to choose my own son, even a small child, just to end everything, every suffering, every problems that we have in this world, as the things that we face as humanity. I don't have much to say, really. I just came here and I have heard what from Dr. Sam said, and yeah, I agree with what he has said.
Okay, all right, no problem.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's just go to those who have risen their hands and have just joined now. So we've got Sally Yo-Yo. Sally Yo-Yo, megaphone's yours.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. I think if you take emotion out of the decision, then it would be obviously to end more suffering by sacrificing the child, I think. Because by sacrificing one child, you save millions and the future children, and So yeah, I think the decision is easy if you take emotion out of it.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Let's go to JVB. We'll get back to you, and those who have spoken, we're going to definitely get back to you. First, we need to go around the rest of the table, and the next person is Ali. Ali, what would you do?
I definitely wouldn't accept under no circumstances, for the reason it's basically like giving a spoiled child a lot of money. They won't know what to do with it. I believe humanity has to evolve naturally because a lot of people have bad intentions. So whether they do eradicate war, disease, and suffering, in return, there will always be bad intention. And as long as there is bad intention, there will always be suffering. And I'm also very empathic. I definitely wouldn't like any child to suffer for any other reason. Yeah, that's my opinion.
All right. Now,
what about you, Mr. Tim?
So I think about this like in a realistic point of view. And I'm actually going to go a little bit broad. And that is, so this powerful alien comes to Earth with the promise to eradicate war, disease, all suffering. But he says, you know what? I need a child, and I'm going to be doing some testing and some enemas and some painful, unimaginable testing. And the only way that this will all end is if you accept the offer or not. Now I'm thinking, what type of alien that is so advanced to eradicate world problems that we've had for thousands of years, who's going to inflict pain and torture on a child, which is completely unnecessary because, I mean, even we have anesthetics. So, you know, if they didn't say the unimaginable painful testing, definitely I would do it. But my question that I would ask is, if an alien came to Earth and the first question that we ask is, the first thing that I ask is, oh, I've just lost my train of thought. Just give me a second. Like, the second point of view is that I don't believe in disruption in the system. And the disruption is we have our own evolution taking place. Just like the aliens had their evolution, we have our evolution taking place that needs to be done on a certain basis with regards to technology, with regards to becoming more moral, with regards to becoming more social, these type of events. Now imagine if we eliminate all the bad, it's like eliminating light from dark, eliminating from suffering and pleasure, eliminating from good and bad. What are the ramifications to have some part of that balance completely taken out of the equation? And with such high intelligence that now have come onto this earth and say, we will eradicate everything for you as long as this child's detriment is going to be leading to a lot of painful measures. The question that I would have in my mind is, are they testing us? Like our answer could lead to even more dangerous consequences, could lead to even more dangerous situations where the aliens say, like if someone says, yep, here's a child, here we go, yay, no more suffering. And the aliens go and say, they give a little phone call and they say, no hope for humanity, move in, invade, destroy, this planet is fucked up. You know, so that's how I was thinking. So no, I would not.
Another way of saying it.
I would not accept the offer at all. I would let evolution play out rather than thinking of my present oriented blip of life. It's going to evolve to the way it should be without external influences. And I say that not only through evolution, I say that with every way of thinking, that I don't want somebody controlling our fate. I don't want someone controlling the actions that we take. I don't want someone controlling and making premonitions of things in our future that will lead us to doubt and lead us to being marionettes in this world. So yeah, now I'm going off topic. But now you know why I started the moral dilemma. Get this all out of my mind. Let's go to Damn Skiddle-Doo. Table is open now. Raise your hand if you want to say something. Yes, Ali.
it's a little bit ironic so that they have the power to eliminate all suffering, whereas their their need is to actually cause suffering on another child. So if they did actually have the ability to eradicate war, disease, and suffering, they wouldn't need to make the child suffer in the first place if they were that evolved.
Exactly. We'll say, here's anesthetics.
Just
How about
another
that?
thought as well.
Here's anesthetics. Take a child, but here's anesthetics. There needs to be no pain. All right, damn skittle do.
And just to add as well, we need to, sorry, I'll give the microphone now, and we also need to evolve because it's also about the journey. It's not always about the destination. Through that evolution, more good things can evolve as well.
Yes, you're speaking my.
Just another thought.
You're speaking my thoughts. All right.
I absolutely agree with you both. I think in our own sovereignty and in creating our own fate and our own future, we define our value as a species. And if we can't, did you get that, by the way?
Yes, absolutely.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, loud and clear.
If we don't take our own sovereignty and define our own future and our own fate, then we don't know our own value. Our value is created by the choices and the actions that we make as a species. And if we're to evolve and move forward, we need to be authoring our own future. Surely with help from others, there's nothing wrong with accepting help, but give up all of our responsibility is an issue. I'm really glad that you picked up on the would you give your own child point, because
I think Dam Skiddledoo made an excellent point about what a definition of a sacrifice is, and one giving up something that is precious to them. And it's easy to give up something that doesn't belong to them or they have no emotional tie. So I think that's an excellent point. And maybe that should have been weaved into the moral dilemma, because then it would have been a true moral dilemma. But
definitely. Anyway. Sorry about that, Dam Skiddledoo.
No problem.
Thank
I'm
you
happy
for your
to pass
patience.
on for anyone else who's got a thought to share.
I'm just looking at hand raisers. 1 second. 1 sec. Jay, the megaphone is yours.
Thank you.
Okay, probably got a couple of points, if you can hear. I've only recently joined, but I heard a couple of arguments from yourself, Ali and Tim, on maybe we need to evolve ourselves. But I think that's sort of appealing to the naturalistic fallacy, that just because it's natural and that's what nature does, that it's somehow good or better. But I don't see anything good or better or really anything to do with character building in terms of war, disease, and suffering. I don't think suffering does build our character or make us better humans. I think quite the opposite, that things like corporal punishment and pain and suffering actually create long-term psychological problems. So I don't think that's the answer. The other thing that was mentioned is, are they testing us? But I don't think that's the answer either, because we don't know the point of their test. We don't know what their goals are. And if anyone's seen the movie with Simon Pegg called Absolutely Anything, you will see a case where the aliens were testing Simon to be bad, and he would have won their game if he was taking all of his power and using it for evil. But Simon had no idea. So it could go either way. So I don't think either of those are the answer. What I do think is the answer is yes, except on the condition that we can choose the child or choose the condition that the child is in. For example, if the child is already undergoing unimaginable painful testing or torture, then the situation is no better or worse for the child, but is much better for everyone else. So from a utilitarian point of view, that's good for everyone and no change to the child. So I think that's the best answer.
That's great. That's
good
a
point.
Great point.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go to JVB. Megaphone is yours.
Thank you. Thanks. So very quickly, just something of the isolationism that we should be allowed to, alone do our evolution. I think there is a crossbreeding of conscious beings. I think we all affect each other, but that's not the point that I need to make. The point I need to make so that I can think straight for the rest of the day is when this theoretical question landed, which was after I spoke. And one woman on the end there brought up that how the children suffering, and Dr. Sam brought up the numbers. I have to put it to politics, and it's not even politics. It is moral that if we just substitute alien and say a powerful con man visits, we say the White House with the promise to eradicate war, disease, and all suffering in return, it demands a small child for unimaginable, painful testing. 70 million Americans actually took that offer. They took that offer and have implicitly caused severe suffering for innumerable children, knowing what this would do. And that's all I have to say, that this is going on in the United States blatantly. Not just the
And
the
all over the world.
And all over the world. I was going to say with this, the children's slave trade, all of that. But this is public and explicit, and it's unbearable. Thanks.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Awesome.
I think it should be brought up, yes.
It definitely needs to be brought up in these
for people
platforms,
to be made aware.
especially because we have a lot of people watching on Facebook on many different groups. And if we can plant seeds, which is the intention of these moral and social dilemmas, we will create ripple effects with the way people start thinking differently and evolve within their thinking capabilities to provide some form of value to this world, and not just think of themselves as much as they used to. It's to take away the ego
and a better balance.
To take away the egocentricity, and yes, to find mutual symbiosis. Let's go to San Diego or San Diego. I never know how to say it.
Oh,
Megaphone is yours.
All right, thank you. Sorry, I'm just trying to absorb with the last speaker. It's just really, I really felt that. Okay, well, I was just dissecting the question again. And when they promise to eradicate war, to me it says it needs to pick a side. So to eradicate war, they have to either eliminate the opposite opponent of the side, or completely brainwash the whole society as thinking as one. Disease and all suffering. I would say for that, because they're powerful and stuff, they do probably have the technology to do it, to help people. But it's like, I don't know, someone said giving a candy, like when you're given everything on Earth, just from the start, you don't really learn anything. So you just haven't learned experience, how to become a good person. You may actually learn negative effects, like being selfish, self-entitled, things like that. So I don't know. That's all I got from all I gotta say. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just still a little bit sad from the last speaker.
It's all good. It's all good, San Diego. Thank you
very
much
much
for your thoughts.
JVB, you feeling better?
Does anybody else, being in a community like this, I'm sure with everyone's inputs and how we are moving more towards mutual understanding with human beings, this has brought hope to humanity, just being in this room today with what people have been saying. And I think that needs a round of emojis. So thank you very much for everyone's thoughts. If you have anything else to say, please raise your hand at the bottom. We're coming to the end.
I see Jay has his hand up.
All right, just
one
second before we can move to Jay. And finally, are we going to take these two people, or if you have the opportunity now to speak or pass and then next week we'll be back. If you want more reminders for the moral dilemma and the social dilemmas, make sure you join VR Digital Citizens Behind You on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll be getting reminders on these events. Social Dilemma is on Mondays, and Moral Dilemma is on Fridays, and we are dropping it an hour earlier, which was today's time, and it seemed to work, but we'll see. Just keep watching Alt VR events. Let's go to Jay.
And the megaphone is yours.
Okay, hopefully you can hear me okay.
Loud and clear.
Awesome. So your man Santiago mentioned that going through the question, good to break down the question, but it was assumed that to eradicate war, one side might have to be won, or both sides might have to be brainwashed. But I hope in the future our politics would sort to evolve itself, and we'd be able to find better ways to resolve conflict, through diplomatic means rather than one side winning. Try and find both sides winning, sort of win-win scenario. Another point I wanted to raise is out of Steven Pinker's book called Enlightenment Now, where he puts forward the facts and figures on the state of the world today. And it's really interesting to find out that there has never been a better time in history to be alive. There have never been fewer wars, fewer casualties of war. There's never been less child mortality. There's never been less child illiteracy in the world. There's never been fewer diseases. We're eradicating more and more diseases every day. And just near where I live, they've just come up with something like 95% successful COVID vaccine within less than a year. So yeah, this is the best time to have ever been alive in all of human history. So that's a nice thought.
Thank you for that.
Let's go to Dr. Sam.
Dr. Sam, megaphone is yours. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Megaphone's yours.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to comment on what JVB said. I want to point out to JVB that what goes on in America, it doesn't go unnoticed by some of us. We totally support what is going on in America. Our hearts are with the people of America. We understand you've lost 257,000 people in 9 months, which is frightening. We know that there's 600 to 700 children who don't have children. So we totally are aware of this. We're empathetic with you, and we support your cause. So don't think that the rest of the world doesn't know what's going on there. Thank you, Ellie.
All right. So, thank you very much. No one else wants to raise their hand based on anything else?
Okay.
Ali, you want to have any final...
any comments? Want to skip? Speak or pass? Okay, sorry.
No, I think it's just the fact of what's going on speaks for itself. But and I'm very grateful for this forum here and everybody here.
We're very grateful for that you guys are here and you're part of this discussion. It really means a lot to us. Like Tim said earlier, the intention of this dilemma and this event is to plant seeds to try and help people and to try, even if it's causing a very small ripple, it echoes basically into the universe, let's say, or into the world. So those are our intentions, and we are very grateful that you guys are here.
And to have 30
yes,
people,
Tim, sorry.
To have 30 people from all around the world to discuss certain matters and to have it streamed live. I mean, how else do we get this type of opportunity? This is why I endorse and I support you to create also events similar to this. I'm happy for you to use the lounge if you want. I'm happy if you have ideas for your own events. We need to get more information out, and you are the reason that these events are taking place. Without you, there is no event. We are nothing but a vehicle. And these platforms are the starting points to understanding people from all around the world, and so that we can start doing something and making a difference. So yeah. So that's the end of the moral dilemma. Sad. All right. Sometimes they'll be deeper. Sometimes they'll be awesome. Sometimes they'll be funny. You never know what you're going to be getting.
They will always be awesome.
Make sure that you join us on Monday at the Social Dilemma, and Fridays obviously at the Moral Dilemma. But keep looking at the events. We're going to keep this up as long as you guys keep coming. So thank you very much, and we are out of here. Thank you, my lovely co-host, Ali.
Before you leave, thank you, Tim. It's been an honor. Feel free to find us on VR Digital Citizens on Facebook if you guys want to contact us, or if you guys want to send me a friend ad here on VR. It would be lovely to carry on communicating, and if you guys want to find us or discuss anything. Thank you very much as well from me. It's been lovely. It's been an honor. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and looking forward to seeing you on Monday for the Social Dilemma.
And stick around if you want and have discussions with each other. And if you have ideas for moral dilemmas, then also send us some of your dilemmas to VR Digital Citizens. But I'm out. Thanks very much. Goodbye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.